And what's going on, people? I'm Sean, and welcome to another episode of Nosy Neighbors, the fragrance channel for beginners, casual users, and the fragrance enthusiasts. And today you guys are in for an absolute treat. The fragrance that I'm talking to you guys about today is one of my personal faves, and it is also an absolute performance monster. That's right, people. First beast mode fragrance I'm going to be giving you guys a full-fledged review on, and that is none other than Acqua di Sale by Profumo Aroma. All right, real quick, here's the presentation. All right, nice simple bottle. All right, old school aluminum like top and atomizer. Let's check out the atomizer real quick. And a pretty strong atomizer, like a lot of juice that came from that. So decent for presentation. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the notes. For notes, don't have very many things to talk about. We got myrrh, kelp, and cedarwood. That's it. That's all they had listed as far as the notes are concerned. I imagine there's probably a lot more that's going on with this oily fragrance, but that's all they listed for the notes. Now that I actually already alluded to it, I've got to mention this this performance, and it's absolutely beast mode. This is one of the only fragrances that you could actually get away with just wearing or just spraying just one time, right? So be mindful that if you spray your clothes, this is going to be in your clothes for potentially weeks. Like I had a sweater that I sprayed this on at one point and just forgot about it, and I could smell it on it like as I pulled it from the closet. I mean, although it was faint, I could still smell this smell on that sweater like weeks, maybe like months after I sprayed it on it. Like, so for longevity, obviously I already talked about that. We got, like, who knows how long this fragrance lasts. I mean, if you were to spray this on your skin and you would take a shower, you might have to go back and like take another shower. Like, that's how long this fragrance will last on skin. And I've already explained to you guys how long it lasts on clothing. So there's that. Now, as far as projection, this fragrance will completely fill a room, right? With just one spray. It doesn't necessarily require like more than that, because it's one of the fragrances, if you sprayed this like too close upon you, like one, you could potentially go nose blind, and two, like you could very well choke yourself out with this fragrance. It is that strong. All right, let's just be clear and be careful, right? This is not something to mess with as far as like performance is concerned. Now, as far as overall scents go, this is a very unique scent. I have yet to find something that smells like this or even like remotely similar. This is very different from anything that I have ever laid my nose on. So kudos to Profumo Aroma for coming out with a fragrance that is catchy and unlike anything else like out there on the market, to my knowledge thus far. I do have a short story in which I actually wore this fragrance on a trip, and I was on a bus, like one of those huge like double-decker buses, right? Like in Europe, and all the way where the bus driver was sitting, because I was actually sitting at the opposite end, like diagonally from where the bus driver was. As I got off the bus driver told me that he could smell the entire trip. And whenever we got done doing like a little tour and stuff like that, we came back on, and I'm not sure if he was complaining or not, or he was just like stating his case, but he said he could smell that smell the whole time that I was gone. And that was a couple hours that I was gone. And again, I had only sprayed one spray because I knew how potent this fragrance is. And from the bus driver's mouth, he basically told me that like this fragrance got to him. He didn't say that it smelled bad, but he said that like whatever it was that I was wearing was really strong. All right, so kind of gives you an idea of how like potent this fragrance is. If I were to describe this fragrance in short, I would say that this fragrance like reminds me of being on a beach. In particular, if we want to go down the line, I would say that this fragrance reminds me of being like in San Diego, where you're outside and you can smell like the salt water like swishing against the sand. And you could also smell like people like wearing their various forms of like suntan lotion, right? So I get that mixed together, and like that's what I get with Acqua di Sale, right? It is just super unique. Nothing else, like to my knowledge, smells like it, and it is a huge, strong performer, and it is absolutely beast mode, right? So in short, I want to say that this is both a banger and is also beast mode. I would like to recommend this to people. However, I have got to be honest and say that this fragrance is also polarizing, right? So although there are people that are out there that really like this fragrance, there's also like the opposite, right? This is not a safe scent. It's not something I would recommend people wear into the office. Although it smells good, you know, it's unisex and different things like that. Like anybody can pull it off. Like I think it's kind of like a personality thing. And this is one of the more challenging niche fragrances that I own that I probably will talk about, right? So it's now like averaging like 90 something degrees out in the daytime. You can spray this, but again, keep in mind that this mixes with the sweat and this will project like crazy. So wear with caution, right? Proceed with caution with this fragrance. All right, so for price, this fragrance ran me $265 on luckyscent.com. And as always, they come through. If you order anything from Lucky Scent, you should always expect like quality and like fast shipping, which is what I've always received from them. So like definitely throwing their name out there again, and don't regret it. So in closing, I want to say that I would like for people to get out and get their nose in this, because I imagine not many people have actually smelled Acqua di Sale, right? I'm telling you right now, this is absolute quality. However, I also recommend that people, again, proceed with caution. I would say that you shouldn't dive straight into a bottle. I would say check out Lucky Scent and maybe get a sample of this fragrance before, you know, you buy it like in its entirety. But this is one that I recommend, but I do so with a grain of salt. Pun. As always, I hope you guys have liked what you heard. Hopefully you take time out to get your nose on Acqua di Sale. Please like and subscribe. And remember, live good and smell well.